Every year in early February, American society briefly halts its normal routine. Cities empty out, restaurants overflow, and an enormous segment of the population focuses entirely on a single stretch of turf. This visualization shows the true scale of that audience. During Super Bowl 60, an estimated 125.6 million people tuned in. To put that into perspective, you could combine the audiences of the Oscars, the Grammys, and the NBA Finals, and you still wouldn't come close to this level of simultaneous human focus. Getting inside the building to watch this event in person requires an immense financial sacrifice. On the secondary market, a single average seat near the field regularly lists for nearly $10,000. Fans drain their savings accounts to sit in the upper necks. Corporations wire millions of dollars for seconds of screen time. Entire municipalities redesign their infrastructure to host the spectacle. The coordination of these hundreds of millions of dollars suggests an objective beyond the scoreboard. Every pass and every touchdown serves to anchor a global audience in place, providing the NFL the scale required to operate a large-scale virtual marketplace. The foundation of this marketplace relies on television networks. The NFL has locked in long-term distribution agreements with major media conglomerates, like NBC, CBS, and Fox, that run through the 2023 season. These media companies transfer enormous sums of capital to the league. In exchange, they are given a temporary monopoly over those 125 million viewers, allowing them to act as the exclusive gatekeepers to the largest gathered crowd on earth. Once a network owns that gateway, they begin selling fractions of it to massive corporate brands. They do this by auctioning off 30-second windows of airtime. This timeline breaks down the cost of a standard 30-second commercial window, where the price tag frequently reaches $10 million. That equates to an expenditure of roughly $267,000 every single second. And that $10 million only covers delivery. Brands still cast actors, hire visual effects studios, and run heavy digital campaigns, pushing the total invoice significantly higher. An executive approves this massive expense because the viewers actually watch. They evaluate the ads, discuss them the next morning, and share them across social platforms. We live in an era where audiences are fiercely divided across thousands of streaming niches. A 30-second window during this broadcast offers the rare, guaranteed ability to inject a product directly into the center of global popular culture. Halfway through the event, the economic structure temporarily flips. Some of the most famous musicians alive step onto the field, and they typically perform without receiving a standard paycheck from the league. For an artist, performing to an audience that peaks at over 128 million viewers generates a return far greater than any conventional appearance fee. By morning, those artists often see their streaming catalogs spike globally. Their upcoming stadium tours sell out in minutes, and their personal brand equity skyrockets, converting free exposure into massive long-term capital. The gravitational pull of this audience doesn't stay confined to television screens and digital metrics. The physical spending continues far beyond the stadium borders through the sale of intellectual property. The league doesn't sew every jersey or stitch every cap. They simply license their incredibly valuable logos to manufacturers who scale production globally. When you successfully corral over 100 million pairs of eyes, you create an economic gravity well. That level of focused attention guarantees hundreds of millions of dollars will spill over into hospitality, retail, and local government ledgers. The moment the final whistle sounds and the confetti drops on the winning roster, one commercial cycle ends, but the broader financial engine keeps spinning. This pipeline illustrates how every television contract, corporate sponsorship, and licensing agreement flows directly into the league's central treasury. It physically reshapes the economy of whichever city hosts the physical game, like Super Bowl 60 in the San Francisco Bay Area. Hundreds of thousands of fans flood the region. They pack hotels to absolute capacity, book out every restaurant, overload local transit, and trigger a massive influx of local tax revenue. By the time the stadium is swept clean, the host city can capture over $500 million in regional economic impact. By 2025, that centralized system was generating more than $23 billion in total annual revenue. The league takes that massive pool of national revenue and divides it equally among its 32 franchises. Regardless of whether a team won the championship or finished last, Each franchise is guaranteed roughly $432 million before they even sell a single local ticket. The Lombardi Trophy represents the peak of athletic achievement. Economically, however, its value lies in its ability to command the focus of 125 million people, the primary resource that powers every media deal and sponsorship in the league's $23 billion portfolio. Once you secure the undivided attention of a massive population, the monetization takes care of itself. The entire system is built to reliably capture a brief window of collective focus and systematically turn it into billions of dollars.